Hello everyone, and welcome back to another session of Dark Souls 3 PvP and another weapon showcase. This time we are using the Frayed blade, which you can get by transposing the soul of Midir from the Dark Souls 3 DLC, The Ringed City. Now, this weapon is really cool. I'm not usually a big fan of katanas, but I like this one a lot. Its weapon art is really fun to use. So, let's get started with the basics on it. I'll move into everything else later on. This weapon requires 11 strength and 40 dexterity in order to wield. It has a D scaling in strength and an A scaling in dexterity. The physical base damage is 184 and the dark base damage is 76. The skill of the weapon, like all katanas, is hold. Well, like most katanas is hold, I should say. However, this one's hold skill is different than the others. This one, well, your R1 is an overhead attack with a shockwave that runs along the ground, and your R2 is a multi-hit attack that is unparryable, and it makes you look like Genji deflecting attacks. So that's awesome. You know, can't complain about that at all. The only way it could really be better is if it actually did deflect projectiles, which I'd be down for that, actually. It wouldn't be that much of a buff. It would only work against physical projectiles, for example. So arrows and firebombs and throwing knives. I think that would be a really cool thing to have happen. But, you know, that's not going to. I'm just throwing out ideas here. It is what it is. So the pros of the weapon. The damage on this thing is actually really good. For whatever reason, I heard when it first was released that a lot of people were expecting the damage to be bad, for whatever reason, because it was going to be split between the physical and the dark. But you have to keep in mind, this weapon has an A scaling in dexterity and it requires you to have 40. So your actual attack rating, if you even just take out the dark base damage, is still going to be over 400. So, yeah, I don't know why people were thinking this weapon's damage would be bad. Other than that, though, it's got a good moveset. It's a katana, so katanas always have good movesets, not much of a shock there. And the weapon art is just really, really cool and very useful. You can use it in a lot of really great ways. If someone's trying to circle around you and you go for the multi-hit attack weapon art, well, it works out very well because it's very wide and decently damaging. Even if you do only hit with a few certain parts of it, it still is enough to make it so that they don't get the backstab on you, which is a good thing. The only real cons of this weapon, the only ones that I can think of at the very least, would be the high dexterity requirement. It's not great, you know, 40 dexterity, oh well. Realistically, you should, if you're going for, you know, dexterity build, you'd have 40 anyway, so not much of a con. In all honesty, it's not like it's Ludo's Great Hammer with 60 strength, but hey, it is what it is. Really, there are only a few things with this weapon that I would prefer to see changed. I would like it more if it actually had, you know, some sort of intelligence and faith scaling. It does have dark damage to it, so I'd like to see some scaling that would affect that. That would be nice. But otherwise, I really have no huge complaints about the weapon. It's a katana. It's got a good moveset. Just like every other katana out there, it's going to be good for doing running attacks. Although, it can get very predictable, so if you're going to be using the weapon, don't spam your running attacks. Everyone knows what's coming. Everyone knows that you're going to. Its range is good. It's not like the washing pole good, but it's more like the Chaos Blade good. So, I can't really complain about that. Overall, it's just a good weapon. I don't really have anything bad to say about it. If you guys have any cons for this weapon that, you know, maybe I'm overlooking, maybe I'm just forgetting about some huge glaring thing that's bad, let me know. But other than that, this is going to be the last fight in the video, guys. I hope you've enjoyed it, found it helpful in one way or another. Thank you all for watching. Please like, subscribe, and all that good stuff, and I will see you guys next time.